Hello guys, welcome once again to my channel Learn Easy with GC. This is Gobu Chandran and today we are going to discuss the third part of NEET JEE Physics 2020 plus 1 Physics. Okay, so if you have not subscribed the channel yet, please subscribe it. Okay, so this is my first question of this part. Let's do it. So in this question, you can see there are two blocks A and B. Okay, two blocks A and B are seen in the question, and 15 Newton is applied on block A, and it is given that mass of B is twice that of A. Mass of B is twice that of A, and they are asking what is the force on B. What's the force on B? It's a simple question. Okay, see, if this type of question comes to your exam, what you have to do is just find the common acceleration first. Okay, so these are bodies connected together, or questions related to contact forces like that. First you have to find the common acceleration. Okay, for that it is given that mass of B is twice that of A, so you can assume that mass of B is 2 kg and mass of A is 1 kg, because B is twice that of A, that's all. Okay, now the common acceleration, what's the common acceleration means? Total force divided by total mass. Total force divided by total mass. So what is total force equal to? 15. Total mass equal to 1 plus 2, 15 by 3. What is 15 by 3? Common acceleration is 5 meter per second square. So that is the case here, common acceleration. Now we have to find force acting on B. Okay, which means that force exerted by A on B. It is nothing but force acting on B is given by mass of B into acceleration. Simple. Because no other force is acting on A, the only force is MA. So MB into A. What is mass of B? 2 into 5, that is equal to 10 Newton. That is our answer, option C. Hope you got it. Okay, so you can take a screenshot of this, and we are going to next question, second question. Okay, so here is the second question. This question is related to rotational dynamics, and what is the question says? A wire of length L is bent to form a circle. Okay, circle means ring, and we have to find the moment of inertia of the ring about its axis. Okay, the very first thing, moment of inertia of ring about its own axis is given by mr square, that's all. But if you look at the answer, there is no options related to radius, because they have not provided radius. We have to find the radius in terms of the length of wire, because that wire is bent to form a circle or ring. Okay, see, the total length of wire is given by L, and we know that this total length when bent to form a ring, its perimeter will be equal to 2 pi L, which is equal to L. So what is R equal to? L by 2 pi, that's all. Then substitute the value of R in this equation. You will get I equal to M into R square, L square by 4 pi square, M L square divided by 4 pi square. That is option C. Answer is option C. Is it okay? Got it? Okay, next question. So here is the next question, third question, which is from mechanics of solids. Okay, properties of solids, mechanical properties of solids. Okay, and the question is, here also there is a wire of which Young's modulus is given as capital Y. Strain, we know that what is strain? Change in length by original length. So that strain or change in dimension by original dimension, its value is given as X, and we have to find the energy stored, potential energy stored per unit volume, energy stored per unit volume. That is our question. And you know that we know what is energy equal to? Potential energy, half into force into, what is that? Distance. Okay, let L be the distance. Let L be the distance. Half into force into distance. This is the potential energy. So potential energy per unit volume means what? I am representing it as UV. See this formula, actually you have to by heart the final value. I am just giving you the derivation because it is very simple. Because half into force into length divided by volume, half into volume can be written as area into thickness. Okay, one small, this is delta x. Okay, half into F into delta X is the energy. So half into F into delta X. Volume means area into, let X be the total length. Okay, you will get half into, what is force by area means in solids? It will be stress. Half into stress, and this change in length by original length is strain. So by heart this formula, okay, UV, energy stored per unit volume, equal to half into stress into strain. Very important formula. Many times it is repeatedly asking in JEE, NEET, KEAM. Many exams it is asking repeatedly. So you have to find half into stress into strain value. Okay, now tell me UV, what is stress means, because in the question stress is not given. Stress means strain into Young's modulus. Stress means, because stress by strain is Young's modulus, so stress equal to strain into Young's modulus. Okay, into what is the strain? So you will get half into, strain is given as how much? X. Okay, strain is given as X into Y into again X. You will get half into X square Y. Half X square Y, that is equal to 0.5 X square Y. 0.5 into X square Y. So our answer is option A. A is the answer. Okay, is it simple? Tough questions will come soon. Okay, don't worry about that. This question is simple. Okay, we are going to the next question. So here is the next question, and this question is from fluids. Okay, surface tension related question. The work done in blowing a soap bubble. So bubble, always differentiate between bubble and drop. Okay, bubble has two surface, drop has one surface. Okay, radius of the bubble is given as 0.2 meter, and surface tension is also given as 16 × 10⁻³ Newton per meter as a unit. We have to find the work done in blowing that soap bubble. Okay, so work done means very simple equation. Work means surface tension into area, surface area. Okay, surface tension into surface area, but here we have to take into 2. Why this 2 is multiplied here? Because I told you that soap bubble has two surface areas, so you have to multiply into 2. 2 represents two areas. Okay, so you will get what? Surface tension is given as 60 into 10⁻³ into what is surface area? Okay, sphere. What is the area of sphere? 4 pi r square. What is radius given? Radius is given as 0.2. Okay, so 60 into 10⁻³ into 4 pi into 0.2 square, not over, into 2. So this is our final answer. 60 into 10⁻³ into 4. What you will get? Okay, how to do? 60 into 2, 120. 120 into 4, 480. 480 pi, something related to, oh, there is no 48 there. Oh, into 0.2 square is there. Into 0.2 square, you will get how? What is the option you will get? 1.92, right? 60 into 4, 240 into 2, 480. 480 into 0.04, correct? Is it wrong? Am I wrong? Let me check. So you will get 2 into 4, 6 into 4, 24, 240 into 2 into 0.2 square means 4 into 10⁻² into 10⁻³ pi, that much. So 4 into 2, 8. 24 into 8 into 10⁻⁻4 pi you will get. Okay, equal to 192 into 10⁻⁻4 pi, that is equal to 1.92 into 10⁻². Okay, where I'm wrong? One second, okay. So it will be 60 into 10⁻³ into 4 into pi into 0.2 square means 0.04, right? So 4 into 10⁻² into 2. So it will be 2 into 4, 8 into 4, 32, 32 into 6. 32 into 6, 10⁻², 10⁻⁻4. 192 into 10 raised to minus 4 pi I am getting, or it is 1.92 into 10 raised to minus 2 pi is the answer I am getting again, but there is no such option, or I am wrong. Is it okay? Is it correct, right? Just check yourself again. I don't know whether I am made mistake in my calculation. I don't find it any mistake. 60 into 10 raised to minus 3 into 4 pi into 0.2 square. 0.2 square is 4 into 0.04. 4 into 10 raised to minus 2. So 2 into 4, 8 into 4, 32. 32 into 6, 192 into 10 raised to minus 5. It is correct, right? Answer is 1.92 into 10 raised to minus 2 pi again. There is no such option. You also check once again. Okay, so I don't think any options are correct. Okay, cool, fine. So friends, this is the next question, which is related to motion in one dimension. You can see that in the figure, velocity displacement graph is given, and they are asking what is the equivalent acceleration displacement graph. That is the question, correct? Yes, that is the question. And if this type of question comes in your exam, many questions are coming like this. Okay, from electromagnetic induction also they will ask, like they will provide EMF voltage graph, EMF graph of variation of EMF, and they are asking what's the equivalent current time graph. EMF time graph will be asking, or it will be given, and they will ask what is the equivalent current time graph, IT graph they will ask. Okay, or they will give the IT graph and asking what is EMF voltage time graph, like that. Okay, similarly in the question here also they are given that velocity displacement graph is given, and how will be the, or what is the nature of acceleration displacement graph. That is the question. Okay, see in the question how to solve this problem. Okay, we know that the relation between V and S. What is the relation between V and S? Okay, we don't need it actually, because it is graph is given, it is a straight line with negative slope. We know that negative slope means y equal to minus mx plus c. This is the general formula for negative slope. Okay, here y equal to V minus m into displacement plus a constant. This is the equation for this graph. This is the equation for this graph. Okay, and we know that acceleration equal to dv by dt. If you differentiate this, you will get minus m into ds by dt. That's all. Plus constant, you will get 0. That is equal to minus mv. Minus mv. Substitute the value of v. What you will get? A equal to minus m into minus ms plus c. That is m square s minus c. So you got a relation between acceleration and displacement. A equal to m square s minus c. Now tell me, this is of the form, if A is y-axis and s is x-axis minus c. So this is also a straight line, but in this case slope is positive with intercept is negative. So how will be the graph? Positive slope with intercept is negative. So graph will be like this. No, this will be the nature of graph. Straight line with positive slope, intercept is negative. Understood? Nice question, right? So option A is the correct answer. So we are going to do the next question. Take a screenshot. So friends, this is the third question, sorry. This is the next question, and this question is related to motion in 2 dimension. A particle is projected from the ground at an angle 45 degree with initial velocity is given as u equal to 20 root 2. Magnitude of change in velocity v minus u we have to find from the starting time to final time is 3 seconds, not total time. Time is 3 seconds. We don't know whether t is the total second time of flight. It is not time of flight. Okay, from 0 to 3 seconds, what is the change in velocity? That is the question. Nice question. Okay, listen. See, we know that u equal to initial velocity ux into I plus uy into j. Ux means u cos theta into I plus u sin theta into j in 2 dimension. 20 root 2 into theta is given as 45. What is cos 45? 1 by root 2 plus 20 root 2 into 1 by root 2 j. Root 2, root 2, root 2, root 2 will cancel. You will get u equal to 20i plus 20j. U equal to 20i plus 20j, say equation 1. Now acceleration I am taking as acceleration due to gravity 10 acting downwards, so minus 10j, vertically downwards, so minus 10j. And also v equal to, these are all vectors, okay, all vectors. V equal to, we know that vector u plus at, this is final velocity. And what is u? U is equal to 20i plus 20j minus 10j into t. T is given as 3 seconds. So you will get 20j minus 30j equal to minus 10j. So this is the final velocity. So what is change in velocity? Means vector v minus vector u. Equation 2 minus equation 1. What you will get? 20i minus 20i. Now horizontal component remain constant, so we don't need to check it even. Okay, change in horizontal component will be 0 because it remains constant. So it will be minus 10j minus 20j minus 30j, change in velocity. Or if you are taking magnitude alone, it will be 30 meter per second. Option C is the correct answer. I hope you got it. Okay, understood. Shall we move to next question? So take a screenshot and we are going to next question. So friends, this is the next question, which is from projectile motion. Okay, two bodies are projected at angles, one at 30 degree and another at 60 degree with same speed. So horizontal ranges are R1 and R2 and maximum heights are H1 and H2. Then which option are correct? See, whenever two angles are complementary, because one is 30 and another is 60, means total 90 degree complementary angles. At the same time, both projectiles are having same initial velocity, which means that horizontal range will be same. R1 will be equal to R2 or R1 by R2 will be equal to 1. So definitely you can neglect option A and C. Understood? Two projectiles are projected with same speed with complementary angles of projection, then their ranges will be, horizontal ranges will be same. So option A and C definitely cannot be true. So answer will be either option B or option D. And we know that height h will be proportional to sine squared theta. H equal to u squared sine squared theta by 2g. Okay, which means proportional to theta, because sine 0 is 0, sine 90 is 1. As theta increases, sine theta also increases. Okay, so definitely first one is having height h1 angle is 30, second one height h2 angle is 60, 30 and 60 respectively. So definitely 30 is less than 60, which means that height h1 will be less than h2. H1 will be less than h2, or h1 by h2 will be less than 1. H1 by h2 will be less than 1. What's the answer? Option B. Correct? Option B or D? Option D. Sorry. Option D is the correct answer. Hope you got it. Okay. And I'm going to solve the next question. And I think this is the one of the best question of the questions we are discussing today, which is again from projectile motion. And the question is, what is the question? Let me check the question. Projectile is projected at an angle 45 degree. Slope of trajectory varies with time t. Very nice question. Slope of trajectory varies with time t. So graphical question, right? See, first you write the equation of trajectory for projectile motion. Okay, y equal to x tan theta minus half g x square by u square cos square theta. Then we have to find slope. Slope means trajectory dy by dx. You will get tan theta minus you will get 2 will cancel gx by u square cos square theta. But you also know that x equal to u cos theta into t. X means horizontal component of velocity into time. So what is t equal to, or what is, you can substitute x equal to u cos theta into t. You can substitute x equal to u cos theta into t because we are requiring dy by dx varying with time t. Okay, so substitute, you will get dy by dx equal to tan theta minus g into u cos theta into t by u square cos square theta. That is tan theta minus u cos theta, one will cancel, you will get gt by u cos theta. Okay, so you will get, I am writing once again, dy by dx equal to minus g by u cos theta into t plus tan theta. This is the equation dy by dx. Okay, which is of the form, if I am dy by dx is plotting on the y axis, time on x axis, which is of the form minus mx plus c. Y equal to minus mx plus c. So our answer will be, graph will be straight line with negative slope. Option D. Option D is the correct answer. Very good question. Note the question, just take the screenshot. And I'm moving to the last question of this part. So friends, here is the last question of today's discussion. Question is from rotational motion. Is it rotational motion? Yes. Linear mass density is given. Linear mass density means it is also given the definition, mass per unit length of a rod which depends upon the distance from one end, say A, as lambda x equal to alpha x plus b. Okay, so linear density or mass per unit length is given by alpha x plus beta, not b, beta. For alpha and beta constants, moment of inertia of the rod about an axis passing through end A and perpendicular to the rod. Okay. See guys, we know, let this is the rod. Let this is the rod. Consider a small element, mass is dm, and mass may be written as linear density into dx. Dm equal to lambda into dx. You will get alpha x plus beta into dx. Alpha x plus beta into dx. And corresponding moment of inertia di. Let the moment of inertia equal to di. Okay, if this distance is x. If this distance is x, then di equal to dm into x square. Di equal to dm into x square. So total moment of inertia you have to integrate. To get it, you have to integrate integral dm into x square. Integral di means I equal to, what is integral dm? Dm equal to lambda into x square into dx. Dm means lambda dx. Okay, you will get like this. I equal to, what is that? Integral alpha x plus beta whole into x square into dx, correct? Okay, and L is length of rod is L, so we are moving from x equal to 0 to total length is L. We are integrating from 0 to L. Okay, so integral 0 to L alpha x cube plus beta x square dx. What you will get? What you will get? Alpha into x raised to 4 by 4 varying from 0 to L plus beta into x cube by 3 varying from 0 to L. Then substitute the L. You will get alpha L raised to 4 by 4 plus beta L cube divided by 3. Option A is the correct answer. Options. You can take a screenshot of this, and I hope today's discussion you liked it. So next day or next time we will discuss about some more important questions for JEE NEET physics. You have still more than 70 days. Work hard, stay home, stay positive. Wish you all the best. Thank you.